So, you're considering a move from California up north to Portland, Oregon. In this video, I'm going to be talking about the things that are going to be a little bit different for you and what you can expect if you decide to make that move. Hi friends, welcome back to my channel. I'm Cameron Starr, a local real estate agent here in Portland, Oregon. We get calls, texts, and emails all the time from people just like you who are curious about what Portland is like. And I hear a lot about what it's like in California and why you guys are considering leaving California. So I kind of wanted to do an in-depth video for you guys now and kind of give you a taste of what things might be like for you if you decide to make the move. Cost of living in Portland, Oregon. For example, the cost of living, say in a place like Los Angeles, according to salary.com, is 42% higher than it would be for you to live in Portland, Oregon. Now let's talk about housing costs. So the median housing in Portland, Oregon is right around $525,000, while the median home price down in, let's say, San Diego is currently $949,000. As you can see, you're going to get a lot more bang for your buck up here in Portland, Oregon, which could be really helpful, especially as you're considering things like retirement, where you want to plant your roots, and just overall living in a place that is more affordable. In addition to that, let's talk about renting. Because some of you, when you make that transition, are probably going to rent to see what the market does, what areas you like here in Portland and around Oregon. And so if we're comparing what rental costs are in California to Portland, the average rental in a place like San Diego is about $3,000, while the average rental for a place in Portland, Oregon is right around $1,700. And so reasons why you might consider renting is, well, one, because you're making a job transition and you need to get some work under your belt to qualify for a loan. The other reason you might be renting is because you don't necessarily know where you want to live yet. But obviously things are going to be a lot cheaper for you here in Portland. And I know that's usually a breath of fresh air, especially for those of you who have never been able to get into the housing market. And maybe you've been waiting, and it just never happened. And things felt out of reach for you. So hopefully as you look at our prices here in Oregon and Portland specifically, they don't feel out of reach for you anymore. Now let's talk about the climate here in Portland compared to California. Depending on where you're moving in California, you could be leaving some very, very nice weather. But if you're considering a place like Portland, Oregon, just know that we have a temperate climate. We have relatively mild, wet winters and warm, dry summers that are mild to moderately hot. It's not going to be like what you're used to moving from California, but most people enjoy how mild it is. Now let's talk about taxes. There's definitely going to be some changes for you if you come from California to Oregon. So in California, you guys have a progressive income tax system, the same as us, with rates ranging from 1 to 14.4%. So the more you earn, the higher the tax rate. Oregon also has this, but the rates are generally lower, ranging from 4.75 to 9.9. Now, in terms of property taxes, Oregon's are going to be generally lower than what you guys are seeing down in California. In California, for example, your property tax is based on the purchase price of the home, and it's about 0.71% of the assessed value. In Oregon, property taxes are based off the market value of the property and can depend on the county. But Oregon's is a tad higher at 0.82%. But we'll make that up at the next point. Concerning sales tax, in California, the base rate that you guys have in terms of sales tax is 7.25%, but local municipalities can add in their own taxes on top of that. Oregon State doesn't impose a sales tax, so you're going to save a lot of money living here. Now, let's talk about education. So in Portland, you're going to get, for K through 12, you have private school options, charter school options, you have public school options. You're going to have Portland State University in the heart of the city, which is really nice. And then also throughout the state, there are some good options like Oregon State University, University of Oregon, depending on what you're looking for. Now let's talk about income. This is going to be pretty broad, but in general, employers in Portland pay on average about 7.3% less than what employers in a place like Los Angeles are going to pay. And that's according to salaries.com. So then if we take that number 7.3 less, but then also the number where it's 15% more expensive to live in California, just know that if you come here, you're typically going to get more bang for your buck. So you're able to get into a better house, you'll have a better kind of life to income ratio, and you probably won't feel as much pressure in terms of employers in the Portland area. You have a lot of options, whether you want to work in the hospital system, OHSU, or tech like Intel, Tektronix, VTech, There's also Nike, Adidas, Boeing, Kroger, and Columbia Sportswear. It's going to bring a lot of opportunities with it if you need to find employment. Now let's talk about nature and the outdoors. So I know if you're leaving California, you're leaving some great weather, you're possibly leaving the ocean if you live close to it, and probably really enjoy some of the outdoor aspects that you have there in California. Just know that you're going to get that here as well. In Portland, we have rivers that run through the heart of the city, offering picturesque views, and we also have the Cascade Range that's pretty close by, providing stunning landscapes and outdoor adventures. I recently took my kids camping in the Columbia Gorge, and it was perfect. The kids played in the forest, we did some fishing, did some camping, so you're going to have some lovely outdoor activities and great ways to enjoy nature here in Oregon. You can head west to explore the Oregon coast and its sandy beaches, the rugged cliffs, or you can head east to discover the beauty of the Columbia River Gorge and the high desert landscapes of Central Oregon, explore the Willamette Valley, wine country, or head north to the lush forests and waterfalls of the Columbia River Gorge. If you keep going, you're going to hit Washington. That's where Mount Rainier and Olympic National Park are. Beautiful rivers, lakes, alpine vistas. Whether you're fishing in the rivers, hiking in the forest, biking along the scenic trails, you definitely don't move to Oregon to stay inside. Now, let's talk about the culture. Recently, I had a friend move here and told me, man, people make eye contact with you, they say hi to you, they shake your hand. They're just generally kind. So just know that when you come here, it's going to be different, I would say in a good way, and there are a lot of amenities to enjoy here. In terms of downtown, you have the zoo, great restaurants, Portland festivals all the time in the park, and concerts pretty much everywhere. Lots of venues for that. Now let's talk about sports teams. Our big team here is the Portland Trail Blazers, obviously. And watching a Blazers game at the Moda Center it's thrilling. It's a really exciting experience, especially when the city kind of comes alive during playoff season. So we also have the Portland Timbers. That's a Major League Soccer team known for a really intense fan base, exciting matches, lots of theatrics. The Timbers already brings like an electric atmosphere to Providence Park, making every game a real experience to remember. Hopefully this gives you a good comparison about what moving to Portland, Oregon would be like if you were to move here from California. And if you have questions about that or you're considering moving, I'd love to help you answer any questions you have. If you want to chat, you can just give me a call. I get calls, texts, and emails every day from people just like you looking to make that move. So thank you guys so much, and I'll see you in the next video.